everyone and welcome back to my channel. You may have noticed, you probably didn't, my room has moved around just a little bit. I've now put both of my bookshelves together, so when you look at them you can actually see them together a little bit more. They're obviously not directly together, but you can still see them in one corner of the room, and I feel like they look fine that way. I feel like now that I've acquired more books recently, I do kind of just want to have like a little move around, little switcheroo, put some down below, some up top, little change. My TBR cart is literally full to the brim at the moment, so I do definitely want to just go through that. So that is what today's video is. We're going to be reorganising my bookshelves today. I feel like for the most part I know what I want to do with them, but I feel like I'm just going to start off by taking everything off the bookshelves and just have like a clean slate. Obviously I did put blood, sweat and tears into that pink bookshelf. Not that it's all pink, I think it's like the first 3 shelves that are pink. So I think for the most part I'm going to keep that one as it is. Just a little switcheroo would be nice. How many times have I said switcheroo? But there is a shelf down there with brighter books on it, and there's a shelf down here with really dark books on it. That one you can see, whereas that one you can't, and I kind of want my room to look as bright as possible, which sounds bizarre, it sounds stupid, I know, but I think it just looks nicer in my room because my room's quite like bright and colourful to have it all like matching and stuff. So I'm going to start now by removing all my accessories off the shelf and then all of the books. So I've just taken everything off of it, and annoyingly that already looks so much better and so much nicer, but I do love having the little accessories on there. I feel like it just adds a little bit more character, so I think I might sort of like die down on the accessories a little bit, but we will see when we organise it what's happening. So now it's time to take the books off. I've also just remembered that there's tinsel up there from Christmas. Am I getting it down? No, because I'm too small and I don't care. This is my favourite shelf ever. It is my absolute pride and joy, so I don't even want to touch this, but I think we're going to do it very similarly but move it down. I don't know yet. Oh, my children, my other children. Oh my god, this is hard. This is what I meant. I feel like a lot of the spines of this shelf are very, very dark. You've got the Throne of Glass series, the Natural series, some other sort of like fantasy thrillers, which tend to just have the darker spines, which do look fine, don't get me wrong, but obviously I am a pastel, bright coloured little girly. I feel like it just doesn't fit my vibe. And also if you find books missing, it's because I'm either lending them out or, yeah, that would be why. But obviously with the colourful thing, I kind of do want to keep the ACOTAR series on this bookshelf because I love looking at it, but I can't have the Throne of Glass series and the ACOTAR series separate. It would just stress me out. So if I'm moving this, I have to move this too. Okay, so I've got this whole shelf empty. I'm now going to empty probably the bottom 2 of this one for now, see what we can do about that, and then I'll organise the top pink bit. Oh no. And I think I am going to leave my Shatter Me books. I don't know why the Secret History's there, but I think I'm going to leave my Shatter Me books over here. I'm thinking if I can put Throne of Glass here, then that means I can still have the ACOTAR books on show because they're still colourful, maybe. Also, I haven't even read the Throne of Glass series yet, so I still want them to be like fairly easily accessible. Otherwise it's going to be really hard when I do try and read the series to just get them. I feel like I like that. But I am going to leave like a little bit of room for the green one, for Akamoth in there as well. This next bit's going to be a little bit more difficult because I do have these drawers in the way, but I'm going to work around it. I don't care if you can see or not. I'm not moving the drawers. And I'm going to keep out the first Inheritance games because it's the first in the series, so I want to keep it for the TBR cart. So my next thing is to organise this TBR cart because there's stuff on it that just doesn't need to be on it. It needs a little bit of a revamp. This worked fine when I had less books on it, but as I said, I've acquired a load more books now. And to be honest, there's books on there that I probably don't see myself seeing straight away and reading straight away. And there's books that are on my actual bookshelf that I want to read sooner, so I want them on the TBR cart, for example. And there's books on here, I don't even know if you can see that, 3 books out of 1 series on here, when I kind of tend to prefer having only the first one or the next one in the series on the TBR cart, because that's the next next one I'm going to be getting to. So we're going to have a little rearrange of this. There are literally books everywhere in my room right now. Like, everywhere I look, there is books, 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 books. So I'm now going to start putting them on the bookshelf. I'm not really going to explain what I'm doing because I'm probably going to change my mind about 10 million times. I'm going to just try and keep authors together, make it look as pretty as possible, and try and keep series together. But that is my main concern. But yeah, not going to go step by step because it is just going to be absolute chaos in here. So you will just have to just see. I'm in like a little bit of a predicament. I've still got the entire Shatter Me series, the Natural series, and just like various standalones that just will not go on this bookshelf. And I'm like, they were there in the first place, so how did they fit on? Because I've even put some more on the other shelves. Like, I don't know, I like what it looks like right now, but we are still missing a big chunk of, oh my god, I've just found more that aren't on the shelves. How were they on there before? So I think I'm happy with how these shelves look, so I'm going to start accessorising them again and just seeing where I can put everything. Okay guys, we are done with putting everything back on the shelves now. There were a couple of books that I wasn't able to get on there. I think there's around 11 books that I just couldn't fit on, but the way that I've arranged it I actually quite like, so I could easily move it to make more room, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not 100% sure whether I'm in love with the top 3 shelves. That being said, I wanted to prioritise the bottom 3 because I feel like last time when I redid my bookshelves I prioritised the top 3, but it meant that when I filmed sit down videos from this angle exactly like this, the bottom 3 just wasn't as nice. I liked this one, but I hated the bottom shelf, and I just feel like it just didn't look very nice in my sit down videos. So right now I have prioritised the look of these bottom 3 simply because that's probably what you guys are going to be seeing the most. And I do definitely still like the top 3 over there, like up there. I just might have a little play around with it, I'm not 100% sure. Again, not going to go too in depth about what I've done to them because there might be another bookshelf reorganisation coming very soon when I get a new bookshelf, which is not guaranteed to happen very soon, but I'm hoping and I'm trying my best to try and arrange my room in a way that I can get another bookshelf in here, because it's getting to the point now where I have too many books. Not that I'm complaining, but when I go to store them it is a little bit stressful just having like books everywhere. But I'm going to give you like a little run through, nothing too crazy, of just what I've done. I sort of did end up leaving that shelf alone. I moved like 2 or 3 things on it and added my Sarah J Maas books onto it and a few others, but the main bookshelf tour will be this one right here. This is a really awkward angle, so I apologise. I feel like I'm doing a slideshow. I feel like I'm doing like a presentation to you guys. So this shelf starts off with just a couple of random standalones really. Some of them I've read, some of them I haven't read. And then I've got Throttled facing outwards because I just love this cover and I love F1, so I thought that one would be nice on display. And then it goes on to my other Lauren Asher books. Then I've got my Monica Murphy's Lancaster Prep series. And then when you move down here, we've got 2 Beth O'Leary books. I've got Funny You Should Ask facing outwards. Again, didn't even really care about the book that much. It wasn't my favourite book in the world. I liked it, nothing crazy, but I love the cover and I feel like it fits my room quite nicely, so had that one on display. I've got Once More with Feeling next to it. And then I've got my mass of Tessa Bailey books. I feel like she is probably my most owned author, other than Sarah J Maas probably. But I haven't actually counted, so don't count me on that. But I really liked just having the big tower of them in the middle. Moving on, we have my Stephanie Garber books. I didn't want to place these here because I did want to make like a dedicated fantasy section. But because I'd moved like the majority of my fantasy books to the other shelf, I just thought that these ones would look nice here because, again, the covers are insanely beautiful. So I have Once Upon a Broken Heart and The Ballad of Never After, which are the first 2 books in the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. Haven't read those yet. And I have the Caraval trilogy right here, and I've only read the first one, so I'm slowly delving into Stephanie Garber. This next shelf is a messy one, which is why I'm not 100% sure if I love it, okay? And maybe I'll tweak it. But it's just because I realised that I had no room for my Heartstopper books after, so I just sort of like placed them up here. But it starts off with my Elle Kennedy books, then my Liz Tomford books. I've got the Windy City series. I've got Never Ever Getting Back Together by Sophie Gonzalez up here because I literally couldn't fit it anywhere else. I've got a couple of the Addicted books in here. I'm slowly building my collection of the Addicted books. I feel like they look really, really nice on the shelves, so I do definitely want to collect them all. But once, hopefully, if I get a new bookshelf, I want to display them all because they just look so nice. Moving on, we then have Ali Hazelwood and Chloe Walsh with a little basket with all my bookshelves in. Bookshelves. Bookmarks and a couple of little bows and accessories. Moving on to our next one, we have probably my favourite shelf out of the whole thing, and it was last time and it is now. We have my Elsie Silver / Cowboy Romances. We have Done and Dusted just over there as well as the Chestnut Spring series and the Gold Rush Ranch series and the start of the Wild Love. It's not the Wild Love series, but you know what I mean. Wild Love by Elsie Silver. And then we have my Magnolia Parks collection. Obviously I have both kinds of covers, so this does take up quite a chunk of my bookshelf, and obviously various different accessories for that as well. Moving on to this shelf down here, another quite pretty one that I think looks quite nice. Various standalones as well, nothing too crazy over here. And then we move on to my Anna Huang books. I've got the Twisted series here, and I've got the 1st and 3rd of the King of Wrath. Is there an King of Sin series, because the second one is on my TBR cart. But just behind here I do also have this series by her, the If Love series. Couldn't necessarily put it on display because I just had no room, and it does have like a darker spine, so I didn't really want it on show too much, so I've just popped them back there. And then moving on, we have my Ella Mays books, Lucy Score, Christina Lauren and Kennedy Ryan's Hook Shot, Block Shot, the Hoop series. And last but not least, we also have some other various standalones. We have my Abby Jimenez books and some more random, just pretty nice looking standalones. And a couple of Hannah Grace ones and just various other things. But obviously, as you can see, I did kind of, as I said, prioritize these 3 just because that is going to be the background of my videos and stuff. But for now, this is how I like them. And we also had a couple here that I simply couldn't fit anywhere, but the Shatter Me series is one of my favourite series ever, so I kind of want to put that on its own shelf anyway, and I'll find a place for the Secret History, I don't know. And last but not least, we have my entire TBR cart in all of its glory. It literally is just various books that I would want to read and just other random things, and those are my Jacqueline Wilson books from when I was a kid, and my Zoe Sugg books. But that is a little bit more organised now. Still messy, but organised. But that is everything for today's bookshelves, for today's reorganisation. Obviously, as I said, I'm hoping and praying to be able to get a new bookshelf soon, so this might be a reoccurring thing. This might happen again literally in a matter of weeks, a matter of months, I'm not sure. And obviously I'm hoping to also get some more books for my birthday, and my birthday's coming up in July. It's July 19th and I'm really excited about it, and hopefully I'll get a good few books. So I'll obviously do my little birthday book haul and hopefully a reorganisation. I feel like that's like a yearly thing. After Christmas, after birthdays, there's just a set way of doing things, and it's hauling what you've got, reorganising what you've got. But if you did enjoy this video, then give it a thumbs up. Normally I tell you to comment something down below, but I actually can't really think of anything. What can you comment? Just say hi. That would be nice. And I will hopefully see you in my next video. Love you guys lots. Bye.